What's going on, everybody? It's your man Bishop Bang, and welcome to another episode of It's Whatever with the Bishop. I got my co-host, Funny Man Jeff. Yep. And we in the building. And we in here with the Secretary of the Board of Pardons.
Hey, what's going on?
Mr. Brandon Flood.
I didn't know I was supposed to jump in there and say,
yeah. It's all good. We welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, we welcome
having you back.
Man. Having you back. So if you didn't hear the first episode, I'm not going to tell you about it. You're just going to have to search the archives. And,
on Anchor.
Yeah, and find it and listen to it.
Yeah,
pretty much. But what's going on, sir?
Doing the people's work, man.
I see.
New position since last time I visited,
right.
so maybe it's good luck here.
Right. I want to say, before you start and you get into that, I did want to say I appreciate it. I wanted to say that before you even, for me knowing, and for those that don't know, he will tell you about it. But I just wanted to say you are doing the work of the people. I wanted to say that you don't, and I'll let you get into that, but there's nothing that no one can say.
Right.
You can't address the naysayers or people that might have opinions or whatever they feel. Let your work.
Right.
Your work's going to speak for
Jay-Z
you. You know what I mean? Your work is definitely going to speak for you. And I was, it's funny because before you start, I said, I hope he's not too busy. That's why when I hit you, I was like, I know you're busy.
Yeah. No, but I like busy. Busy kept me out of bullshit. So
Okay. So we're gonna let you, I guess, tell about your new position and tell what's going on.
Yeah.
And then we got some questions.
Okay. Yeah. So I know.
Yeah.
I don't understand, but so April 1st, April Fool's Day, too. Is when I was appointed. But they didn't have the press conference until the 8th. So Lieutenant Governor Pennsylvania appointed me as Secretary of Board of Pardons.
Okay.
So secretaries for all the state agencies are the official that oversees the entire agency. So for Board of Pardons, so that's great. Board of Pardons is considered a criminal justice agency.
Okay.
So it's even bigger that for someone with, for I guess anyone who's viewing or hearing
Right.
criminal background. Actually served 9 years collectively in Department of Corrections, beginning at 18. Eventually ended up, getting my life together, getting entrenched in state government, and like you said earlier, letting my work speak for me, not leading with the fact that I had a conviction.
Right.
Who was I talking to yesterday? Somebody last night was like, I didn't know he was a convicted felon either. But it's people I worked with for like 9-10 years ago, and they thought I was Urkel, and that they was just getting,
that's good.
They thought they was getting into Harvard or something, and that's how you should perceive everybody that way.
So it comes to a shot.
Covering my glasses again.
Right. But to the point that, like I said, ideally the goal was, it wasn't that I was ashamed of my background, but really didn't serve any benefit. I wanted my be judged based upon the content of the
you are not that.
Yeah, my work product, not that. And it don't matter who it is, whether it's a white legislator, even the legislator I worked for 6 years, I never told her. She black from Philly, we cool. But I ain't tell her because, if anybody gets any information, it doesn't matter what it is. Your mindset changed, your view of the facts before you change, and then how you deal with people as a result of those facts will change. So some of those opportunities that she would readily give me, she may have second guessed now that she's viewing me as convicted felon. So that's how I wanted to do it, and then I wanted to be able to tell my story when on my own terms and find the right platform for that. So what better platform than to oversee an agency that's about forgiveness for the state than to talk about someone who or redemption rather who experienced that himself. So it was big in that sense, and that was on a humbug too. That wasn't like I went out searching for that. I actually had a whole nother game plan that this kind of, I won't say derailed.
To you, somebody was like, "Hey, I got this open." Are you?
So listen. So over the the last, when I first started working for the legislature, before I even put in for my own party, and because I ended up getting a pardon myself this year, March 7th, by the governor.
Okay.
Which allowed me to oversee a criminal justice agency. So, I've reached out. I've been working on pardon reform and clemency reform for like the last 8 years, even before I put in my own shit. So, I mean, I was very familiar with pardons and how that whole process works. So when the lieutenant governor was running, it was a couple candidates. I reached out to all the candidates. I mean, I was being a little strategic. Like, hey, listen, here's some information for you, so you can develop your policy if you do get elected. So I stayed in contact with them, and then, eventually whoever won, hopefully I still had that relationship, and I had some into the lieutenant governor's office. So, that he won, and I reached out, and I wasn't looking for a job. Literally, I had got another job offer. Supposed to be the governor's his executive director of African American Affairs for the state. And I reached out to the lieutenant governor already under that hat. I was like, hey, listen, congratulations on being elected. I said, I'm about to start a new position, and this was January 23rd. Now, he knew me as Urkel. So, mind you, he thinks this is Urkel again.
Okay.
So,
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, I'm like, hey, listen, so, starting a new position, I want to work with you on pardon reform, and I said, hey, by the way, interest you to know, and then I'll give him the other tidbit, and that was him. After that, he was, we hung up, and then he called back like 3 days later and was like, listen, man, how would you be interested? Would you be interested if I offered you this position? I think you have in your background, you're the best person to oversee it because you went through it as an applicant, and then you know it from a policy standpoint, So yeah, for me, of course, I was like, I mean, and the rest was history. I mean, he's a very progressive dude. You know how we always watch these television shows and movies where they have like the ordinary person who gets in a position of like incredible power. That's like him. Like he's a regular dude. He ain't got no agenda. He just wants to do whatever he thinks is right. So part of the reason why I took the job is because I'm sure this probably would never happen again. Maybe depending upon how I do, which I intend
capitalize on the time.
But it's supposed to show that other people, you should extend other people with backgrounds and opportunity to oversee some of these agencies or to be decision makers. We're oftentimes we're always the advocate, but we're not really putting decision makers positions. So I think they see that more people can excel when given an opportunity, that they'll be more readily extended. And if not, I mean, you get a pardon, and it's like nothing never happened, and that won't be held against you.
I think in that situation, it's best to get the people that understand the job that they're doing.
Right.
It's more heartfelt. Like I feel that you will take a better understanding into the situation for the people because you've been there. It was a service that you needed. So you see what you was able to do with that opportunity once given to you. Yeah,
you can also see who's bullshitting and who's not. So, I know who's trying to run game or I'm a pretty straightforward person. So I think it just makes and then I'm more hands on too. Some of them agency heads don't
requirements. What requirements do you have to have in order to get
a pardon?
Up for a pardon?
So really, currently there aren't any other than that your convictions have to be PA based. Other than that,
so no Fed crimes or whatever.
How long is the list?
Oh shit! Well, I mean, right now the wait time is about 2.5 years from the time you put in, which sounds like a long time, but that flies. And then we've reduced that time over the years. It used to be 5 years, so slowly but surely, and some of the reforms I'm gonna try to institute, I want to get it under a year. So the process under a year, then we'll have different things.
So that's when you go in. That's what you're checking. That's what you're doing. You're going through. How deep's the investigation? If that's okay, like as far as saying, okay, they get it. They might not.
It really just depends. I mean, they look at a number of factors: how long ago the conviction was, if you were incarcerated, how long when did you get out, and what was your adjustment out on the street. Obviously, they have if you have issues while you're incarcerated, they can look at that. Probation and parole, how you adjust on probation and parole. So we get all that information. So if you get dirty yarns, and obviously if you're saying that you was drug free since 1991, but you just got a dirty yarn in 2012. They look for a lot of those inconsistencies. But yeah, it really depends what you've done in that time. Personal development. People might go back to school or become business owners. Letters of support are big too. So they do. Especially if you're getting them from local officials and people in the community, speak to your character. they're helpful. The fines and costs, all that stuff. So yeah, it's a number of factors to be considered.
Okay, so now I'm getting confused. Because you might have to break down what a pardon is. Because I always thought pardon was
from jail or something.
Yeah, like you didn't do the crime, and let's get you out of there because we got evidence that you didn't do it. So let me correct me if I'm wrong.
I was gonna go there, but go ahead.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong. So I'm pretty sure it's still that too. But is there also a thing where if you served your time and you meet those requirements of what you just stated, like you can get that F off your report card? Like
let me break it down.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the overall process is called clemency, and clemency is broken up in two parts. So the one part is pardons that we're more familiar with. Now, pardons are for anyone, whether you admitted to guilt or you were wrongfully convicted. You can still put in for a pardon. And what a pardon does is the ultimate act of forgiveness from the Commonwealth. So it's almost as if the crime never occurred.
So they admitted
never
to
occurred
it
before. Right?
Yeah, and they still.
Yeah. I mean, they have to. Obviously, if it's a long time ago, and you've made some, if you've demonstrated,
you'll factor that in.
Yeah, that you've rehabilitated yourself. So that's one part. Pardons that's about 85% of the applications we get. The other 15% and the other part of clemency is called commutations. So commutation is just the modification of one sentence. So you're probably more familiar when you hear with someone who's on death row. They put them with a commutation. We can get them to serve life. We can just sentence commuted to life. And then someone who is serving life without parole, we can commute their sentence to a numerical one. So like 35 years.
So they might have the shot.
Anyone who gets their sentence commuted in terms of life, who's serving life without parole, they serve life with on parole, but they can come back before us at a later time. Well, that's something that I'm going to start develop a policy for, so they don't have to serve their whole life.
I don't want to go.
So they can come home. They can come home, but just maybe for the rest till they die, they're on parole. Somebody's overseeing them.
So because that.
And then hold on, one other piece. So the other part with commutation. So someone who was excessively sentenced. So literally, I have a guy who contacted me last week who got sentenced in 1986 to 3 to 75 years for cocaine trafficking. 3 to 75
what the
years.
What's the
right? So he's 75 years old now and still has 20 some odd years to walk up on parole. So he can put in for a commutation to get rid of the rest of that parole, or we could reduce it to a lower number. So that's the other part, or on a minimum.
75. Let the man know.
Yeah, that's what I told him. Put in.
Yeah. So
I can pretty much guarantee him he's gonna get.
I got a question because with that reducing from a death row sentence, it's a fight coming in.
Right.
So do y'all fight for if y'all believe that?
We ain't got nothing to do with the case.
But I mean, but so they right. But do they come for you? I would think if they felt like that person's supposed to be on death row and supposed to get, that opens back up. They show up like this is why.
Right.
So that becomes like, do y'all fight that if y'all feel differently, or do y'all just go with like, you know what, we're gonna accept that because it's time and.
Yeah, that's the latter.
Okay.
All right. We try to relitigate anything, but just like, all right, well, what since the crime?
Okay.
What have you done to
I mean, but you're in jail.
Yourself? Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised. Some of them can do a lot of shit while in there. A lot of nonprofits, local nonprofits, when they start programs.
And that shows you something that they take right to find.
I mean, programming, even educationally.
So, somebody getting a record expunged, is that like, I'm just going to word it like this, but I don't mean it like this. Is that like beneath you? Like,
no.
And where does that fall in at? Like,
so
is that like for people who get misdemeanors or like?
No. So it's a little bit confusing about, because there's a lot of terms.
Let's clear this shit up while we got time.
You may hear clemency, you may hear commutations, you hear pardons, you hear clean slate, you hear sealing and expungement. So it's a lot of terms to contend with. But so the easiest way to put it is that, so expungement is just someone could go straight to the court of common pleas before a judge, put a petition in within like maybe 3 to 6 months, and the judge can determine whether or not to get rid of the criminal record, totally. But only a select few people are eligible for that.
I got a weed charge from when I was 18, freshman in college.
I'm about to break it down to you. It's very narrow. It's very narrow. It's very restrictive. So if you have a summary conviction or less, if you're 70 years old and you've been crime free for 10 years, if you've been dead for 3 years and your family wants to put one in for you, or if you get a pardon. So I mentioned all the other three with the exception of the pardon. So for everyone else who's not eligible, either dead, 70 years old, or what was the other reason I said? Oh, summary conviction. You have to get a pardon first in order to be eligible for expungement. So actually expungements carry as much weight, if not more weight, because at least for pardon, we don't take it. All we do is we put a notation. We make sure that we transmit that information to the state police. So if anyone runs a background check or the FBI, it'll come up as pardon. But you can go on in the public domain. Yeah, on the public domain you can still see it. The only way to get it out of the public domain is by getting expunged. So technically, like mine, right? So
a lot of this shit's going hand in hand.
So let's So now what I'm pushing for is to make it combine it,
right?
Because at this point, it shouldn't be two separate processes.
I'm feeling that.
So automatic expungement after a pardon, and the courts have ruled on it too. It's just the lawmakers haven't.
That's big because they're being separate, and you only take care of one. So
right, and it costs money too.
Right.
So for me, the example I'm gonna use is when I got my pardon, I still didn't get my shit expunged, and the reason why I didn't get it expunged is number one, I don't care about it being out there because we're in a job. And I'm pretty much telling my own story.
Right.
But most people, they want that shit going ASAP, especially if I'm trying to become a teacher or something
else.
But it costs. So the way they do it is each county, they charge, you have to file an expungement petition for each docket. So I have 5 dockets.
I'm about to say they split them up, yes.
So I have 5, and each county, they determine how much their the filing fee is. So Dauphin County is $300. So it's $1,500 for me to put in to get my shit expunged. Now I can scrape that together, but I better use my $1,500. Why should I have to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I personally don't have to do it, but for someone, let's say I did need that, I would have to show up, and then if I get an attorney, let's add another $500 on it. So $2,000 after I'm supposed to get what we bill as the state's most ultimate act of forgiveness, right? So it's long been overdue for it to be combined, or an automatic process. So that is happening.
Okay.
But that's the only difference is for everyone else, it's not.
Gotta ask questions, people.
Partner.
I didn't know they were separate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I've been
something crazy. They hit them numbers crazy when they be like, I'm gonna get back to you.
Anybody that has a summary conviction that's 5 years or more, that's 5 years old or older are eligible.
A small possession in summary.
Now it is.
Yes.
Now it's.
My grandfather in from 2005.
But before it used to be a misdemeanor. So
it's not summary. Yeah.
But they have something called. That's the other part too. Something called clean slate. So sealing. It's a process called sealing where it doesn't remove it off your record, but it removes it from public view.
Right.
Yeah. So employers, landlords, academic institutions can't see it.
Is that something different?
Yeah. So that's a process for anyone that has maybe a misdemeanor 3 or less misdemeanors that occurred 10 years or longer.
No felonies?
Yeah, no felonies. You gotta get pardoned. Yeah, but like I said, hopefully once we get this wait time now, we modernize our system. As we still deal with a lot of paper. Our applications, everything's paper-based, and we should be moving in 21st century, digitized and all that. So my goal is to do that, but I need to get $500,000 to do that. So I'm lobbying for that. So if we can get that done, that'll make the wait time a year. So hopefully everyone can just go and just get the easy thing to do, just put in for a pardon. Right? Yeah, exactly.
It'll pay for itself.
You have less people. That's what I say. The more people you have with someone with an application pending for a pardon is less likely to engage in crime than someone without one. Because you're going to at least think like, oh shit, well, you still may do it, but at least
you'll think twice.
Right.
So I'm about to get off of this shit. Let me clean up my act.
Right. Listen, when I was
if you put your money, I don't think you're gonna really.
Yeah.
When I was on parole, I was intentional, even though I still was dibbling and dabbling. No dirty yarns, and I walked 5 years off. So I wanted to be like the choir boy, just because that comes up. So when I put in, I had no dirty yarns and none of that. So I had no infractions. Luckily, I had a good, decent PO who didn't give me, he seen that I was,
We were trying to
right.
get your act
Yeah,
right.
so he wasn't on no nut stuff.
I don't want to, how can I say this?
Just make it plain. As
Yeah, I'm gonna make it plain because I don't want to draw on it because I am the type of person that I could care less what people say. But I want to know, did you? Because I feel it's necessary, being a black man, knowing that you're about to be in a position that you were in. Like me personally, I don't read negative comments that people put on panel. I just don't feed my mind with shit.
Right. Oh, I do. I look at them. I like them. I mean,
I don't like them. I like to. I'm one that likes to use to wonder how people build their mind. You're in a position that you have to be strong-minded. You have to be. You have to be able to see the chatter, the ones that are not happy, because you're up there with folks that when they're not happy, it's different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it could have been somebody that felt, oh, this shouldn't have went to him, or he's like ex-con, oh, he's black, or whatever the case may be. It's just seeing the response of the people or what people might say. Now, I don't care. Like, we're not going in, but like you said, if that, you answered it. You said you use it. You didn't.
Oh yeah, I listen to the extent that I can call. And my first week in the office, right, it was people calling and leaving messages.
Yes, that's why I wanted. Listen, I was saying to myself, I said, I know. I was thinking about him like, yo, I know it's probably crazy. It's the noise he has to turn off.
It was this. I guess like they're retired correctional officers, but they have a like a Facebook page group.
Yeah.
And they call and ask them, and then I go on Facebook and then. Reach out and try to get added to the group, and tell them they answer whatever questions y'all have. But yeah, he ain't take me up on it. He ain't never called back. But yeah, for people who are
trying
calling,
to be the 13th disciple.
People who are calling.
I'll join in next time.
I bet you it was crazy. I was like, I know that.
And then the people in the office,
together.
the people in the office, that was funny too. So like my second in command, luckily for us, right, when I was putting in for my own part, and
I knew it was.
She never like treated me like a nut or anything. Like she was always very civil. So because you never know who may become your boss the next day, right? But we always was cool, so it wasn't weird when I first started. She was kind of like, okay, I can see this, why this happened. Yeah. And then, but it's all white women, not one Asian woman in the office. So they were all like scared and stuff when people were calling. I was like, yeah, take the number or give them my number. Then I was giving them my cell number, tell them to call. But yeah, most of them didn't call because they're cowards. It's one thing to say something, right? But then there's someone saying, hey, all right, well, no, I'll engage you. Let's talk about it. And then you fade to black. Right. So, but then there were some people that did take me up on it, and then once we kind of talked, because a lot of people thought I was, not that it should matter either way, but a lot of people thought that I was running the parole board, and that and then that I could determine who gets out, that I was gonna let all the criminals out, and basically, and seeing that like the Fox going to the hen house or some shit. So, but yeah, so then I was like, it's not parole. I'm not a voting member. I oversee and do the administrative shit and create the policies. I said, but yeah, I know. And then, then they were like, oh, sorry, well, we thought. But a lot, blame a lot of the media.
Well, listen, it was comments that I knew they ain't even know what he just got.
Yeah, they also, listen, depending upon the article you read, too, it made it seem as almost I just got out, Friday, and it was like, yo, my man, you want to run? Let's see how this thing work out. Let's see an experiment. Or like a reality show. Yes. So, yeah, I was like, I've been out for, a little over 10 years now, 13, No, my conviction's over 14 years ago.
Yeah, they thought they just found him and put him.
And then then there was talking about the money part too. It's like there was someone saying, I was a first responder, for 30 years, and I didn't make that much, and they give a felon one.
Was it public record what you made?
Yeah. So I said, but yeah, it wasn't like I was making nothing before. I didn't get a significant raise for all the headaches and the fact I'm on, and the scrutiny that I'm under. That.
Yeah.
What, $10,000 more? That ain't, that's not for all that. So, but yeah, so people, I got that before I even got a pardon. So I was doing all right. Yeah. But yeah, especially like I said, the law enforcement people. But it's died down some, man. But that first week was
so they were calling in.
Yeah, I knew it was crazy.
Were they dropping N-bombs?
No, I ain't getting any of those. They probably out there.
Yeah, they out there. They keep them. It'd be that silver line. You can tell where they going with.
Yeah, because before
how they feel.
The administrator, no. But yeah, no. Yeah, so that was
you're black and ex-con. They ain't even have to know what you did. They gonna put something in their head like.
But for me, right, a lot of people were mad at some of the headlines because they were using that. But for me, right, I didn't take as much of offense to it because at the end of the day, no one is really checking for the Secretary of Board of Pardons. Ordinarily, you wouldn't. This shit's been around since 1872. Right. And then usually the question I ask, especially even some of the legislators, like, name one of the last 5 secretaries.
And they can't.
Because you can't. Right. So it ain't like I said, so this is a position that now has some renewed interest and now people are focused on. But at the end of the day, like I said, white people, black people, old and young, not just those about 75. Everybody gonna need a pardon. Yeah. More people have convictions than we may think. I think it's a third of Pennsylvania. A third of all Pennsylvania.
Some people that was talking got criminals in their family. Right. Their sons is criminals. Like, your son gonna need him. Like, y'all talking.
And there's a lot of people that don't consider, depending upon the culture, that they don't consider certain convictions like they're convicted. Like, you still got, if you got a misdemeanor, you still are in that class. Yeah. So like, you have people like that who look down on like felons and stuff like, you still undergoing the same amount of
same process.
Yeah, right.
Definitely same process.
Or potentially are, because anybody, job wise can use that as the basis to,
listen, things happen. I tell people, don't think you different from the next.
What if white folks that commit white collar crime, white collar crime, they gonna need you.
Right. Yeah. So
there's some stand-up individuals that do fraud.
Right.
Pay taxes and stuff.
And those are the cases that are probably the hardest. And, one of the things that I've introduced policy-wise that will help them ones, those type of people convicted, those kind of
classy criminals.
Is I
like that.
So conditional pardons. So I want to bring back the use of. So we've always had the ability to use conditional pardons, but we just haven't used them.
Okay.
Or we haven't used them correctly. But for cases like that, mainly like theft, retail theft, or some kind of crime of falsification or like a DUI. Those are cases where the board members, especially if you have several of them, if it's like a pattern, even if there were gaps for like 10, 15 years. They're going to err on the side of caution and just vote no every time. Okay. But if we at least have separately a conditional pardon, which basically, if you reoffend, we can yank it back.
Oh, okay.
But you still enjoy the same benefits as you would with an unconditional one, unless you reoffend.
Okay.
So they'll be more inclined to give out more, take chances on people with those kind of theft or DUI. So, you're welcome, folks.
Yeah, definitely.
Because listen, we did this last week, right? Literally, the last 40 years, they've issued less than 5 conditional pardons. Okay. My first public hearing.
Sign some?
Yeah, my first public hearing, we did 5. So we did in 1 week what they issued.
How many gets done a year?
It just really depends on the board and how many cases we have prepared. So we need modernizing will help us. Like I said, reduce that administrative burden, and then I need more. I'm gonna ask for more personnel next year too. Because there's a lot more people that are eligible and that should be put in that aren't.
What's the qualifications?
We'll work that out. We'll make sure that we supply the job.
I'm a semester short of my bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't matter whether you have.
My criminal justice grades were legit. I just couldn't pass math.
It is encouraging for me. I look at it totally different.
Yeah.
It's big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just was like, I hope he's strong enough to weed off because you're in that game, like you're amongst the how can I say it, like it shows hope, because like you see like the thing, can you see us now, you see
when they see us,
you get in, because you're in that class, you're around those people all the way around the
world. And that's the funny thing is over the years, so being amongst them but on a lower level, you got to hear how like they talk.
Right, how they really feel about a felon who's definitely a minority.
And these ain't the Republicans.
Right.
It's like the Democrats. It's like as they're others.
Right.
Us. Us and them. That's
definitely.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, so it's big, and that's why I said, even for, and I don't separate, I mean, I do. I ain't gonna say that. I feel that us as our people, knowing that all that we've been through, we shouldn't have nothing negative to say. Period.
Expressing what's some, if there's something that you need to express, or if it is
negative,
open, it's a way to go about doing that. If it's legit, if it's not, like that's why I said I read the comments because in some instances, I mean, you know what, they're right, but I mean, most of the time it's bullshit and it's race baiting and and keyboard gangsters and getting off the steam. So
you can't. You gotta ignore them.
Yeah, I'm a great debater, man. So
I
don't take, when somebody.
You got some height on you too, man.
I seen something. I seen you comment on something. I tried to engage just to read it. I said, yeah, this is over my head.
It's above me now.
Listen, it definitely was. It's above me. I was like, he knows this stuff. You was out. It was on something. I don't know what I seen you comment. It was a lady. She said something. I can't remember clearly. You responded, and it started getting into a language that I just was like,
Got to grab a thesaurus in a dictionary. What the hell is going on?
I haven't had it in as of late, so hopefully folks are getting the message.
You're here to stay.
And I come in peace.
So if Wolf, like when election time comes, and say Wolf and his whole squad are going, does that affect you?
Yeah. So so whoever the new lieutenant governor is. I mean, he has the discretion whether to
he can keep you or look. I got a crony I'm bringing in.
It's the lieutenant governor's position now, his authority. So I may have some endeavors myself during that time.
So this is another check on the resume.
I try not to. If it's meant for me to stay here,
of course.
You said many hats. So
if there's an opportunity to do something to have even a greater impact, I'm going for that.
You feel like you like. Because
go ahead.
Like you're in the politic world heavy, but are you you're not really a politician yet, and
that's what I was,
would you want to?
Is that you?
Man, that's what we.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of the reason why I put in for the pardon, and that's what we ask in the application too, is why are you putting in? That does play a lot because some people, if you say, oh well. For career advancement, and then we see, but the evidence shows that you were able to navigate pretty well. I mean, then we're like, oh, you don't really need that, but
no, f you, give me the shit.
No. I'm saying depending upon the crime. Yeah, but if you can kind of, but let's say, hey, listen, I'm trying to go in the military. And, So for me, literally the only thing, I was able to do pretty well professionally without it, but. What I couldn't do is I couldn't lawfully run for and hold public office with felonies. Mm-hmm. So that was my reason that I put in. That was the singular reason. To answer the question.
The desire coming, or is it there yet?
Oh yeah, it's already there. But I mean, I'm one of them people that won't run for office just for the sake that it's open.
So like you said,
pay your dues, get your experience, rub your elbows.
Right. So you said with it being open, and you don't mind if people see it, they can't hold no prejudice towards you.
No.
Moving through that system.
No, that's a done deal. So like I said, the pardon is the pardon. It's just a matter of it being public.
You're giving out hope, brother.
Available.
So let's just say, narratively speaking, that's my word. I mean,
yeah, man. Go ahead.
Let's say, hopefully you will have to say. So, what would be your desired position in politics?
If I could do it right now, I'm gonna say, I think where I could have the biggest impact would be lieutenant governor. So this is the lieutenant governor's last term, first and last term because he came on the second end of it. So it would be lieutenant governor, and working closely with him and understanding what the responsibilities are, especially with the board of pardons, because I answer to him. He's the chairperson of the board. I just oversee the administration of it. So, it would be that. So that would be a 2022 declaration as well.
Okay. So, have you seen yourself there?
Oh, part of going there is seeing yourself there, right?
Okay, that's the major part. You got to see yourself there.
You sit in the seat while you ran to the bathroom.
Shit,
no, just and also understanding who's doing what. And obviously, we talked earlier, bro. I think offline about traveling. So part of where a lot of people, the deficiencies for anyone who's run for lieutenant governor or any statewide office is not having a statewide presence.
So now you get the
There you go. See, I ain't got to finish the sentence.
Okay.
No, we were talking. I was asking him. So you travel because this is a statewide thing. So you're traveling, and,
right? So,
but you say he went to Pittsburgh and Philly in the same day.
Yeah, so part of that.
Give you a helicopter or something.
Yeah, the lieutenant got nothing. Yeah, but he's one of those people too. As I said, the ordinary person. Like, yeah, because he got a mansion too. He's like, I'm not living in that. I ain't got to live in that. They got a pool there that he's. I shared it on Facebook too. So any nonprofits in the state, you can reserve a time to bring your kids out to the lieutenant governor's pool. He's not living in it, but he said if we have to pay for it, then let the taxpayers.
What, he gets a joint like how they got the governor's mansion on 2nd Street?
Yeah, his joint's out for
Front Street
in town. Yeah, but just as big, but with a pool.
But that's specifically for the lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, but yeah, and then they have the helicopter too. But then he's like, yeah, no, Prince here.
There's some perks out here.
Yeah, he has a driver and security team. But no,
detail.
But yeah, no, I think where I can make the biggest impact. I mean, obviously, and I'm cool with Patty Kim, and certainly while if the position became open, would I mind being state representative? Yeah, but I think Patty's doing a good job. So once again, not just occupying, trying to go for office.
Let her rock out.
Yeah. I mean, for me, and it should be always about access. If you feel like if I don't get nothing else from the person representing me, I should get access to you, just to share, whether it's bullshit or whether it's legitimate.
Right.
So my main thing is access, and with her, I have access.
Yeah, she shares access with people. Yeah.
So yeah, for me, it's just as good. So even like mayor too, my initially that was the game plan, but I would always, like I said, if it's someone who I think would do an equally good job, or an exceptional job, or better job than me, I would rather get behind and know the person that's in power.
Right.
If I can't be the person, I'd rather have a good relationship with them. So same deal with that. So it really just depends. What shakes out, usually.
See, everybody's
somebody
climbing.
could die.
Yeah, but somebody's climbing, somebody moves.
But you travel in the state and things of that nature. I guess mayor, that'd be kind of
backwards, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, my main thing.
To our city.
My main thing with that is, and anybody, that's usually the response I get, no matter who I talk that to. But you control the police department as the mayor. So we talk about, we look at the This Is Us.
Yeah.
And so we talk about. The mayor controls the police department, so he can dictate whatever he wants to Carter, or if Carter ain't complying with the way he wants, Carter's gone. So policy-wise, you can determine whatever you want.
Yeah, because you see some of these cops lately,
right.
they are huge.
I don't feel like the mayors,
big country dudes,
have utilized that power, or gotten a chief that's real. And like I said, I like Chief Carter, but I think he can do more. With his authority, the authority he has. So that would be the only reason why.
So I can dictate anything. Comfortable and not rocking the boat.
Yeah. And I'm pro marijuana.
But do you think with Carter? Because he's getting older. Like, you think he's probably like, listen, I just want to retire in a little bit. Like,
I mean, just energy wise. I mean, he's a fit dude. But still, he obviously he's not going to be running around and ripping. He has a family and stuff. So I just think. He has the community policing office. I mean, I think they can be doing more and be a little bit more progressive with that. And then in terms of just like non-enforcement and stuff. So I talked about we talked about small amounts of marijuana. It's one thing if we're charging you with a citation or issuing a citation. But no, you should be doing none of that shit at all. If folks aren't hurting people. So. I think non-enforcement of a lot of different, like, small crimes.
Right, you're causing a bigger confrontation.
Yeah, and you got people penetrating the system. Not everyone's coming in straight for murder. You come in with the small stuff, and that's how part of the reason why they try to divert.
Is it money?
Kids. Yeah. I mean, it's money, and then it's just unwillingness to kind of break from tradition. We always do. We've always done this way. I don't want to rock the boat. So with any of these positions, you can really kind of
what sucks about that? When you put dudes in jail for like the minor stuff, or like they get wrapped up in that system and now they got to go to jail because they messing up on probation and stuff like that. That's how you could potentially even make matters worse for somebody who's not
right.
Because like y'all kind of like
you become hardened, or you
go to prison. Now you come out. Now you know what I mean? You on that shit now. Now it's like, that survival mode, or you might go to jail and like literally learn how to become a criminal, or now you might have PTSD and all you did was originally get booked for some pot. Like,
yeah, nah,
it's not a long shot, but you know what I mean.
You use you meet somebody from some a different, especially like Philly or area, you know, you either been to or you can travel to, you know, and naturally you ain't got nothing but time. You know, we talk about prices and okay, well, I just go down now. You try to become better unless you go there to resolve it. You've resolved in your mind, you're changing your life. But by and large, you're there to network. You know, you should be.
You see, bro, my man got booked for pot. Now he got the bricks for the load.
Waiting on his
yeah, you know, especially depending, you know, selling. You know,
you met Diego when it was a rap.
Yeah. So that's exactly how it happens, and that's why they're pushing big for like diversionary programs for like juveniles, because once you go to the long-term placements, it's pretty much a guarantee. You know, you're going up the way. You know, because you kind of already get, I can do this time, or So if they can divert you before you get to that stage, the best. So that's why I say with the police department, that's the only reason why, because I can really just like change the game with that shit.
Make sure they have extensive training.
Yeah, or get do some more community policing. Because they always talk about a lot of the police officers gonna stay here because of the pay. All right, well, you ain't necessarily got to hire more. You can find another way to police communities. Right.
Because part of a police officer is to know your beat, know your community,
I feel stuff happens. It's not as dangerous as people put it out there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you go anywhere. You go anywhere. Should I remember? Especially living uptown, and when 3rd Street was like Hunts Point, where all the motherfucking and Sheets was buzzing down there. Yeah. We always used to go down there and try to like rob people and stuff, but we weren't out to like kill them. Like we were one of them motherfucking some sneaker money.
Motherfucking sneaker money.
So, do you feel right now? Do you feel whole? Like whole. How do you feel?
Oh, nah.
I know you're hungry. I know that now you're in there. It is not that you're. I would look at it that it's not that you're focusing on your job, but you just that listen, I got here. Me, Brandon Flood. I am the secretary of the board. Just your plate on the desk. You know what I mean? You're in there, right? You're there. So now, that made you.
Yeah, it just makes me like I said,
because you're a humble guy.
Just stay the course. I'm very I try to be very intentional about what I do, so you're just not haphazard. So I mean, and maximizing the moment too. I mean, you asked earlier, the next administration, it's no guarantee that I'll stay there. So, and then furthermore, like I said, in a very unique position. So, and I got a chance to really do me. Okay. And like I said, make the most of it. So that's why I said pretty much anyway that sends like an invitation, like even the Pittsburgh shit. Literally, I was in Pittsburgh for an hour and a half. It wasn't like I was
took
there
you longer to get there.
So are you starting your own nonprofit organization and stuff? Are you branching off using your arms or just using who you are to open other doors? Or
probably more politically. Nonprofit wise, I'm saying there's a lot of nonprofits out here that's doing good work that I can just help informally. And I don't need to.
Like Brothers to Go.
Like to like recreate the will. But unless it's some shit that I feel like people aren't doing, I'm delivering a service or providing a service that's not being delivered. But absolutely. It is about branding too. So like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, it's just for the love of the people. Yeah, it's for if I can kill 2 birds with one stone.
Make this legacy pop.
Right. You help with you got something with that too, right? Brothers to Go.
Yeah, so I'm actually their president.
Right. Yeah. So and they deal with people coming out of jail and different.
Right, and we're trying to do just the same deal. Like I tell Delane, like, listen, try to find stuff, do stuff that's not being done. Like, if a Miracle for Sure is doing X, Y, Z, Y, try to do the same shit, unless they're not executing properly. But like, find your niche. There's a lot of stuff that people need out here that it's not being delivered. Okay. So,
and nothing wrong with collabing here and there if it.
Right, yeah. I'm all about collab. Work
here and there.
Work smarter, not harder.
Probably appreciate you being here.
Yeah. I'm about to be appointed on HACS. So HACS Foundation is a board member too. So definitely want to get more. I think HACS been doing a lot for the reentry community.
Yeah. I heard they can come
I know mad dudes been coming home and
going and utilizing
and
that,
getting in.
Yeah, right. So they can become potential donors too, and also HAC can maybe offer some more programs, so be able to inform them too. So yeah, and obviously most of them, it's a whole nother network of people to connect
you're
with.
You're a busy man answering emails.
Yeah, well, listen, email is best for me because usually, if I'm not in somebody's DM, I'm emailing.
Say email me. I've been getting a lot of emails.
Yeah, because you have people that say call, right? And they're like, not that it really matters what time and hour, but like getting kids from daycare and all that other stuff. It's like, this really not. I don't really feel like talking. And then we talk 7 minutes, and then I still don't know what you want specifically. And then I maybe not be able to retain what you just told me because I'm trying to multitask. Right. So yeah, if you want me to capture everything, you know, this is a problem.
So I can reread it.
Yeah, and then I usually, at some point, just look to see if I skipped over one. But yeah. So you'll get your shit answered specifically.
Yo, I got another question. All right, I'm gonna try to revisit this. He was like, "Talk about the weather." Listen.
Oh, we ain't get there yet?
Nah.
I forgot what I broke y'all.
So, have you, and if not, can you see this like you being like, I call it Barack Obama, meaning you being, a brother, minority who's in your position. Have you already, or can you see like a lot of other minorities coming to you as the savior, like?
I won't
expected you to make huge changes when it's like, bro, like
the reentrant,
but I got a job.
The reentrant community, yeah. I mean, but like I said, I'm a straightforward person, so I'm gonna tell them, especially like the lifers. I think the few times I have been to the prisons to speak to the lifers, I usually tell them, like, I don't sugarcoat. I say, hey, listen, the bill's not going to pass because X, Y, and Z. So some of the stuff that they want to see done or that they have issues with, in some cases, like, all right, this isn't a battle that you should take on right now.
Yeah.
Here's an alternative. I don't usually shoot you down unless I give you an alternative. So yeah, definitely the reentry community. But like I said, I think beyond pardons, I'm stepping outside of just pardons too. So I'm trying to wade into the other waters and criminal justice too. So as I said, traditionally we haven't done because the secretary usually just does his or her job and that's it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not, and like I said, I'm not really worried about that. I mean, I'm not moving nobody's pardons up.
Right.
So I mean, I know that's there's scrutiny. So I'm sure and we don't have a process where we do that. So they ain't got to worry about me moving the homies.
So listen, everybody, just do the process the right way.
But I'm gonna tell you, I'm not. But I'm gonna give you all the tools you need to submit a very compelling application.
Right.
So
I can give you that. You gotta do some work.
Yeah, I mean they usually understand too. I mean they never have to go there. Like, you think they ain't gonna try to crucify me by doing that? I'm being unethical if I were to do that. Like, we're not gonna play that game.
Because look what's going on. And no offense to anybody's related, but look what's going on to the two judges right now. The things that's going on in their life. And people already trying to X amount and give up on them.
I owe you nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I owe you nothing.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially with the two of them, my thing is, that's why email works well too.
Yeah. They'll wait for somebody to jack up their job.
Yeah, nothing can be misinterpreted in email. So
I'm a big texter when it comes to the baby mama.
Right here. So before because we're coming up on time, I got 4 words. This is my list of words that I go over. Sometimes I just read them over just so that they sit in up. These words are they help me. So the first one for you, what you feel about developing people. What does that mean to you?
Like I said, during what helped me or helped to develop me and transform me was reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. That was the first example where I saw somebody who went through either similar circumstance or even more dire set of circumstances that was able to transform himself, not only community-wise but globally. So for me, that was kind of like I saw that as an example to follow. So, so other people I want to develop. I mean, because it's always been people. Even when I was out here doing illegal shit, like the fiends used to, more than one occasion, would be like, "Why are you out here?"
Yeah,
like, you know, you see certain people. Yeah, and it's some truth to that. And I used to take offense to it, like, well, I'm just like these, you know. But you know, clearly they see something in you, the redeeming quality. So, helping other people to see their own redeeming qualities, and to help them become better people. So, yeah, that's what that means.
Yeah, I have people that said that to me, and we both on this side of the fence now.
Right.
Like they knew, and even they are now out of that. So yeah, I definitely understand that. Inspiration.
No, we talked about disappointment. I mean, a lot of people. I've definitely gotten a lot of people reach out about the process. People who otherwise maybe considered the process but didn't. And like I said, most of the people I meet have more compelling applications than I did. These are people with like 20, 30 years. Like, dude, we put in ASAP. Like, but yeah, they always started as something that was impossible to get a part of, which, I mean, I think we just did a horrible job at marketing and explaining to people how it worked. And then in some cases, there was a different administration,
right?
Different
it wasn't
board.
Approachable.
Yeah, it was a different. They operated by a different culture. So yeah, providing inspiration to people that obviously they can restart their lives, pursue career paths that otherwise would block them. So.
And I feel it's big because you're from here and you're in Harrisburg, and they can come get the tools for other people they might not have been able to reach out to.
And I still show up in bills with a 3-piece suit on, so you can come get it. Involve bills too. Right there.
Yeah. So so that's what I'm saying. So I think that's why to me it's big. Like, this is someone you normally don't know them people. Right. I even think even with Pat, I see Patty around people, and I see I'd never seen that before. I never actually seen people that were part of the government, or unless you going downtown and you
unless you're in trouble or something.
And Patty's too cool because Patty will mingle even if it isn't election time.
So it's different. It's different for me, and I'm like, seeing people I used to be like, is it cool we be around these people? But I had to get my mind from
me too.
Right, I know. People okay.
I need to watch my mouth.
Yeah, why are they around? So it's like. It's different, and so to me, it was I just was in awe, bruh is, signing pardons, it was crazy to me. The influence.
Yeah, I mean that kind of goes somewhat with ties both of those in inspiration and development.
Right.
Being able to influence the way people think. I mean, even dress, I used to do that intentionally at work too. I would be the motherfucker that has the suit on all 5 days, and all the white people are like, "Hey, why don't you ever dress down?" Or you can wear jeans here. It's kind of. I was, you ever heard the saying, "Dress for the job you want"? But I'm saying, usually people and this was kind of psychological too. Yeah. So if you see the motherfucker who's on Friday, who's walking around suited and booted, you think he's, even if I was just a research analyst, you think I hold some esteem higher than what I may occupy. And for me, my main thing when I came home, when I decided to enter the political sphere, I wanted to be taken serious. So that's where a lot of people are, you know what to be serious. I know how to turn that shit off quick too. But yeah, I was intentional on that. So trying to influence people that, it's still cool to stick to your principles, but at the end of the day, you gotta know how to code switch if you want to be effective. And like I said, one person and I'll cite by name, and there's no slight to him, but Carl Singleton, and Carl and I have had this conversation. Carl is someone who's going to stick to his principles, even if it affects him politically, which is why he ran unsuccessfully for state representative twice, because he was willing to offend some people. In order to stay
himself.
Yeah. But my thing is, so I applaud people that.
So some of these people really do sell their soul to get their position.
But my thing, so certainly not saying that's the alternative. But my thing is and we've discussed this too. If I have to win the battle, or if I'm looking at winning the war, I may not say certain things in order to get the position and influence. Then I can really, But I mean, it's one thing for me to say, we demand justice in the street, and I'm on record saying that publicly.
Right.
And then there's another if I'm actually if I'm mayor, and then I can control the police department. So sometimes, pick your battles, my main thing.
Right.
But, so I applaud people that can do that. But like I said, I try to influence people to be able to code switch, know when to activate that.
Be the
humility.
chameleon.
Yeah, and activate that humility too. It's been a few times I wasn't always like celebrated. It's just when I've been like slighted at work, where it's like, you know what, I'll just come back, and I'll get them with the work product. So even that, just trying to influence people to be more strategic, think more critically. That's what I learned from Malcolm X, was being more critical. That's what doing most of the young people.
That's the difference of people that are learning.
Right.
There's some things we don't know that we have to learn how to be. That might not be your character, but you have to learn and adapt that and make that a part of you. So then that way okay, I'm in there and this is how this works.
Right, yeah.
Especially being like, you don't set the rules. You don't set the terms. You don't set the conditions.
Right.
If you're coming into something, you got to play by them rules. And you can't
your best bet is to learn.
I'm going to be this, then listen here. That thing been how it's been before you and after you.
My thing is influencing people, master the rules.
Yeah.
And then you can rewrite them once you get to a position.
Yeah, definitely.
Part of paying your dues too, right? Like take your licks right quick.
Yeah, listen, I mean, this wasn't what I'm 2010 February is when I got out, so it was over 9 years. I mean, 9 years really isn't long, but 9 years is
What?
what?
9 years ain't long.
No, I'm saying 9 years really ain't long. Where it's like, all right, I had to work 9 years to get to this point. In some respects, seems like it flew.
It flies by, man. The way they treat you, I'll be like, man, I ain't been in trouble since 2002. Y'all saying what, man? What?
Yeah.
They even mentioned it to me. I'm like, I feel some other way. Y'all still mentioning that?
You still on that?
Yeah.
Right.
So I definitely understand. I can't get pulled over without them coming back saying, hey, you got, man, you don't get out my face and look at that date. But, come back,
look at that date.
Yeah, come back hand like this. Is everything okay? Like, man, that says 2002. You cool. I work here. I pay your. Here you go. Like, it's all good though. But we definitely coming up on time. Thank you for.
Was that 3 or he said 4?
I did say 4. I said 4.
I'm gonna knock the 4th one out real quick.
4.
You're ready for politics.
Yes. See, look, bam. Responsibility.
Oh yeah, easy, man. Definitely, I feel like I have a responsibility to the reentrant community.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, my performance in this role will dictate, I think, or should at least dictate, how other opportunities are extended to those that have been formally convicted. So, I don't take that as like a burden either. Because some people are like, I feel so sorry that you feel like you have to be under scrutiny, and if you make one error. Like, I don't plan on making errors anyway, so like, I mean, I'll never really go into that, and if I do, I'm quick to say I fucked up, and
Right, I always say people that,
which
I
is better.
think
that's like, my finesse game is pretty good too.
Right.
So.
If you get beat down, if you get beat down on this level,
you ain't ready for shit.
Yeah, that's what I said. When people are like, oh, they said, listen, it's going where I'm trying to go. They're going to talk worse than that.
Right.
So you know what I mean. So I definitely, I commend you, man. I think you are the man for the job in higher heights.
Thank you.
Coming up. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
I can see now, and I think people, the naysayers and all of them, they'll get on board.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
or just have to shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get on board.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna come out and say, oh yeah, they just gonna be quiet.
Right. Yeah.
They're gonna have to slow clap for you too.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm still even the people that I personally I may dislike. I'm still as professionally.
Yeah.
We still going, won't nobody in the room know that I don't fuck with you, and I'll still treat you, with respect. But I mean, we ain't gonna get no beers or wings or nothing, So, but other than that,
I'm gonna do my job.
Right. That's how it should be.
You will say, he's all right. Even if I don't feel you, he's
it's about the people, especially when you in some of those.
It's about the people. Ain't about. I always look at it. You're not going to be able to help but love me.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, to me, that's the satisfaction. You come back, tail between your legs. But I'm not going to shame you, though.
Yeah, I'm not. It's okay. I see you. I feel you. I understand.
It's okay, my child.
I understand completely.
Yeah, I still accept your friend requests and all that, even though I was deleted. Hey,
see what I'm doing.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's about forgiveness. Who better to exhibit forgiveness than someone overseeing pardons, right?
This guy.
He's
ready for 2022.
I want to hear secretary first. But we thank you, man. We definitely thank you coming to kick it with us again. It's definitely been a pleasure, man. and we appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for coming back, man. We proud of you over here.
Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Appreciate it. Look forward to coming back. So when
Secretary of the Board of Pardons, Mr. Brandon Flood, we appreciate you. All right.
Peace.